readers.
And then Togemis are not goats. What are you talking about? Hello, welcome to the heated table.
Woo.
If you're not on the table, you're on the menu. And my name is Onion, and I'm here with my lovely podcasters.
Oh, hey, I'm May.
I'm Cash.
Ami.
And today we're gonna do a spotlight, a continuation of Omniscient Reader's point of view. We're gonna be concentrating on scenarios 3 and 4 today. And before we get started, you know how 독자 is the reader's name, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the Korean translation?
It means reader.
Yeah. It does mean smart. It's 전지적, 독자 시점. So 전지적 is omniscient. 독자, the literal translation is reader. And then 시점 is point of view. So literal translation is omniscient reader's point of view. But 독자, you know, is also our main character's name. So it's like a play on words. And 독자 is not a common name. Because you see in chapter 1, people around him are like, 독자, what do you mean 독자? It's like, are you a reader? He's like, no, it's actually my name. So that's a fun thing to know. Anyways, scenario 3 is when they are playing the green squares. Green squares can hold a number of people. So let's say 3 people. And it needs exactly 3 people in the square to activate its shield so monsters can't attack the people.
They call them rooms.
Yeah.
But they're not actually rooms.
And then Dokja with the big brain is like, you know, guys, you gotta trust me on this. You gotta run into the monsters and just look for the left wall.
He just knows.
Because he's
an omniscient reader.
Omniscient reader.
They're literally trusting their life in Dokja.
Yeah, because he read the book.
But they don't know that. They do trust him quite a bit, though.
So it's like blind. It's like part of it's blind trust, you know, because none of them are friends either. It's like telling a stranger or acquaintance saying, "Oh, trust me with your life. I'll lead you the way."
I feel like at this point, though, he saved their lives multiple times.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I think I would trust him.
Yeah, why do you... Okay, yeah. I would trust because of that. Like, he saved lives multiple times. But why do you think they started trusting him? You have a group of people at the beginning, and was it just because he was ordering people around right away and seemed confident? Or...
I think part of it is his actions shows, because not one of his choices had a bad outcome.
That's true.
Yeah, so it's always to their benefit.
Everything he did worked. And he survived after getting eaten by, like, the serpent. And he's been with them since the first scenario
yeah.
except for the sword. But he, like, literally saved her life. So.
Yeah, and it seems like everything that Dokja does, like, has he read the book before, so he knows that what he's doing is going to lead to some sort of success later. I was mentioning before, one of the things that he did early on, they were learning, like, the acupuncture technique, and then it, like, came back.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I think it's somewhere in my brain.
Yeah, I'm forgetting. I literally read this last week.
Screw Pildu,
Uh-huh.
the landowner. I was so happy when he was able to write the contract with the other constellation. That's the other thing that I think gains Dokja a lot of power is the fact that he understands the constellations.
Yeah.
More so than, like, reading the book. The fact that the book also included the parts about the constellations. Because without it, he'd be kind of screwed. He wouldn't have nearly as many coins in his game.
Yeah, he's definitely, like, using the constellations to his advantage. And I wouldn't say manipulating them, but him not choosing a constellation is definitely keeping a lot of people's eyes on him to the point where the constellations kind of are like, wait a minute, we want him to live. We want him to succeed. We don't want him to die yet. So
He's providing the entertainment.
Yeah.
He's providing them the entertainment. And then Dokja dies.
It shows his backstory.
Yeah. Wait, backstory.
Yeah,
does it?
yeah,
It
like
does.
a flashback.
Only a little bit, though, because the fourth wall interrupts it. I'm also the constellation.
Yeah, wait. I need to pull that up.
There's some murder happened. His mom, I think,
Killed somebody.
her dad.
And
His
yeah.
dad.
Wait, I must have completely missed that.
It's very short.
Yeah, it's just a snippet. You get more when he eats the capsule to survive the beast. beasts.
I want this to be an anime so bad.
I get this was one of the announcements that got like is getting an adaptation. I think it was one of the
Really?
webtoons that were announced that's getting
I
an
did not
adaptation.
know.
It's not, I don't think it's getting an anime adaptation. It said a movie adaptation. So we don't know if that's gonna be like a
I don't
live
think it'd be good
action.
as a movie.
It's so-
But like you don't know if it's going to be a live action movie adaptation or like a
Even more
animated.
lame.
An animated.
It needs to be animated.
It needs to be an anime. It needs to be a series.
So they just said movie adaptation. So
That's
whether or not that's
too-
animated or a live action.
Yeah, there's 99 scenarios in total that's going to come out of this. If they made it a movie, that's not going to be enough like screen time.
Well, it's multiple movies, is what it said.
What, like not a trilogy, but whatever's more.
Like a Harry Potter, like a
Yeah, it said that it would be
That'd be
multiple
cool.
movies, but I don't think it said more than that. I just saw that recently.
Yeah, I guess they could like take each book and make a movie out of each book. Maybe. I don't know
Yeah,
how long.
there's so many books. I feel like there's a lot of.
Yeah, I don't know how many chapters are in like each like physical serialized book though.
Oh, I finished this. I literally binged this in a day, like the whole thing. I started, from chapter 1 all the way to 115. Yeah,
That's a lot of information.
it was a lot of information. I binged it in one day. I was so hooked.
I think I probably did something similar, but less chapters. 'cause
I was when I was looking at my screen time. 11 hours webtoon.
Wow.
I was on Webtoon for 11 hours that day, and I'm like, I need to stop. But yeah, I must have missed it just because I was scrolling. That was really short. No wonder why I didn't realize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just basically says the effects of the fourth wall has been diminished temporarily due to increased immersion, and then it's like, no, anything but this memory. I
Yeah.
have to resist. I'm like, I didn't even
This
realize
is the
that
second
was.
time we get a hint for it though, because
Right.
we already gotten a hint
Mhm,
the
mhm,
first time he dealt with the specters.
The
Yeah.
specters.
Yeah,
It's when
like the mental prison.
they're going.
Oh
through the
yeah,
tunnel.
okay, yeah, I remember that. I
Mhm.
remember, yeah.
And at the end, basically the way to beat was to break all the rooms and like have Pilda protect everyone.
Yeah, that was like a little cheat.
Yeah.
he did.
Mhm.
And then they get into the movie theater scene.
Mhm.
Yeah, the cinema.
I wish they did more on the Titanic. I wish there's more. They just killed the dude, and it was like,
Okay,
done.
but that was really interesting though, because I feel like that set it up to be like, who is a character, who's a real person.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because he was like, character, real person, and then someone was like, that seems like a real person. And it's like, no, it's just a character.
Yeah.
But it's like in their, it's their perspective.
Yeah.
Like, are we characters? But it's like our perspective is so.
But
You
then
know?
the real people, like the people who have read the novel, right? He can't look into their information. But then eventually he does get into their information. Like they turn into a character part.
Basically,
Yeah.
when they stopped reading the novel is
When
what
they
I
turn
have-
into a character.
Yeah.
What's the line?
I was a
then?
little confused about that though, because the people who had never read the novel, he's never able to. Wait, is he able to pull up information about them?
Eventually.
Eventually,
Yeah.
right?
But
Okay.
except for the thing is, it's weird because it feels like it has no correlation to reading the novel because Sangha,
Mhm.
she hasn't read the novel, but he can't get into her information though.
That's true, but I think it has something to do with the constellation she's protected by.
Mm.
However, I don't think it's necessarily accurate for everyone, but I do think a lot of people are becoming characters.
Yeah.
Because some people weren't even supposed to survive, and yet they're there.
That's true.
But I think that kind of I feel like it taps into the ethics of like, why is their life more worthy of like, like them surviving? Like, why'd they kill that dude on the Titanic? What if he was just someone that like got in
And then they're just like, oh, but he's just a character.
and then they're like,
and then they're
die.
like, die. But then it kind of makes you think, wait a minute. Are they just a character?
Yeah. You know Sans? He's like a skeleton dude.
Yeah.
Are you talking
Undertale?
Yeah, Undertale.
They do like a fourth wall thing where if you end up killing everyone in the game and then you unleash this inner demon, it saves forever into the game profile. So even if you redo the game remembers that you killed everyone, and it brings up like little hints that you can't go back from the original. Like there's no going back. Have you guys see the other movie posters, right?
Mhm.
And you see Pirates of the Caribbean.
And Inception.
Inception.
Yeah, Inception.
Yeah, and he was like, I'm glad like Inception isn't one of those. was like, me too.
That would mess with me.
Final Destination was on there.
Oh, yeah,
Can you
I know.
imagine? Because Final Destination is all about the people, like the
Everyone dying.
yeah, they all end up dying.
Well, the thing is, everyone else has to die. There's only one survivor.
Yeah,
Because he was like, how did he get out of that one? And I was like, you just kill everyone else.
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. I'm very conflicted about you, Jung Hyuk. I don't. It's not like I hate him. I also don't love him.
Yeah, the way
because-
that they set up his character, the way, like, at the beginning, I remember the way that they set up his character was almost like, oh, is he like the antagonist before they introduced him as the main, like, the actual novel's protagonist. Just the way that Dokja was talking about him, because he's like, oh, I hate him, blah, blah, blah. You're like, wait a minute, who is this person that's coming up? But yeah, he's definitely has, well, obviously, since he's a regressor,
Yeah.
his trauma is definitely affecting his path forward. It's not so much about him. Like, at first it was about him wanting to save everyone, and now it turned him, like, the mental strain has turned him into being a person, like, having to choose whether or not to save someone. And in a way, Dokja is also in that same situation too, because Dokja is omniscient. He knows what's going to happen. And while he is trying his best to save everyone, and he also can't kill anyone too.
Oh yeah.
I think that comes a little later, or that's part of scenario 4, right?
That was with the dragon.
that was the main thing about scenario 4. Yeah, he can't kill anyone. And he kind of has a realization that he, just because he's read the novel doesn't mean that he's like quote unquote God, because in a way he was like playing that role a little bit of making decisions about how to proceed forward. So I think that the plurality between, what's his name? Jung
Hyuk.
Jung Hyuk
Yeah.
and Dokja, the plurality between those two is very interesting.
Yeah. You know what I felt was really, I couldn't feel for the character, but remember how you was mind controlled by the cinnamon master,
Mhm.
and he was like being all melodramatic. He was saying, nobody knows who I am, nobody understands me. And
then Dokja was like attacking her and was getting so pissed off. Okay, imagine if you were yelling at like a character, if you got to talk to one of your favorite characters in your favorite like webtoon or whatever, and they were being all depressed, and you like literally watched them grow up. So wait, what was the one that you're talking about? Odd Girl Out? Yeah, you were mentioning before that you literally started that in high school.
Yeah.
And you've been basically following the main girl's life or their lives as they go through high school. So like, just imagine, I've never read a story that long though, so I can't. But just being in
for a decade.
So being in Dokja's position where he's basically following the life of this character for a decade, like he's basically like a parent. He's like yelling at his kid, like what is it that you say again? It's don't be sorry, do better. He's yelling at his kid, like, don't be sorry, be better. Yeah.
you also see like how much he loves you, because not like romantic love, but he grew up as like being bullied throughout his life, and his only escape is reading to him. And he's like, oh, if I was Jung Hyuk, I could beat up these bullies and stuff. Have you ever like felt? Well, do you guys remember your first like deep rooted connection to a character where you feel what they feel, you cry when they cry, you're just like, oh my god. Like, do you guys remember the first character?
No, Boji.
Oh, Boji.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you talking about?
Summer
Ranking. Yeah, I felt that. Yeah, that
I
was
guess
good.
what do you guys remember the first time you've ever cried over a character, specifically in manhwa or novels?
Novels or just writing?
I mean, okay, so when you mentioned like Dokja following the character for like 10 years, it kind of reminded me of how some animes are still like, they're not over, but their anime is not
Made yet.
The manga continues. So like the first thing that it reminded me of was Natsume Yunjin-cho, because I started reading that in middle school. It's still ongoing now, but I got really into it in middle school. I wouldn't say I was like super duper attached to the characters, but I was definitely attached to the story of just how wholesome it was.
I don't know if I've ever been attached to a character in the way of like because I've been following it for so long kind of thing. Like, I know you mentioned like Haikyuu for you is like, you're super into that. And obviously you started reading that when
Freshman in high school.
Freshman in high school.
Yeah.
And didn't it just recently end? The manga did.
finished.
Yeah, the anime is still being like ongoing. Yeah, I don't know if there's a story that I feel that deep of a connection to, but there's definitely stories that have made me cry.
Scenario 3, the beef was sort of squashed between Dokja and Junhyuk, right? Because he really knocked him unconscious, and then he fainted for some period of time.
He was just like MIA for a bit.
Yeah.
And then the next time they kind of talk about the protag, like the novel protag, is the whole situation of Dokja pretending to be him.
yeah.
In scenario 4.
And they're like, wasn't he supposed to be handsome?
Yeah.
That's funny.
But then he got the mask.
And then he was handsome.
Everyone was like shook by him.
They were like, wow.
That was so smart. So scenario 4. I love scenario 4.
Yes.
I have not gotten past scenario 4 because I'm actually reading the chunks of the chapters for the spotlight when we need to read it, so I don't get overwhelmed.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I should go back and reread it, honestly. But yeah, I kept bringing up scenario 4 in our last episode because I'm like, scenario 4 is okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
So scenario 4, this is the whole capture the flag, and each train station is the base. So I just want to give props to the author, the actual author, because there's lots of authors in scenario 4. I want to give props to the actual author of Omniscient Reader, because something about taking real life places and then being so creative with it is just super cool. So the fact that the whole scenario 1 started, everyone was in respective stations. The fact that it kind of morphed and evolved into now you're defending this station that you, like, first a tragedy happened at, but now you're defending the station and trying to take over other stations. I was literally on Google Maps like, okay, where are they in Korea? Because it was just so interesting that they're taking real places, and I don't know, they were just able to create this whole fantasy world but using like
The real
places. I don't know, it's just really cool. I really like when authors use real places. It's just fun, in my opinion.
Yeah. Wow. I liked Capture the Flag as well. I thought it was cool. I thought the concept of like the colors changing and then powers being granted.
And then it's not just the person who captures the flag. Like, for example, it's not just Dokja who gets more power. I mean, obviously he gets the most out of everyone, but everyone in the team at the station that they're trying to defend gets power. And then if he captures a station, correct me if I'm wrong, not everyone dies when you capture a station.
No, they just get.
But they then come onto your team, right? And they expand in power too when Dokja like gains.
I think that's part of the reason why I also really enjoyed this one, because there wasn't an emphasis on like death. There's a lot of scenarios have an emphasis on death or killing or whatever.
Yeah.
This one didn't necessarily have an emphasis on death. Instead, it was you're going to be taken over, but now you're joined this other.
Yeah. Even Sangha was like, oh, that means we don't have to come anymore. Yeah. Okay, wait. I feel like we missed something. When was it that they were like rationing for food?
That was earlier. That was scenario 2. Before scenario 2.
Never mind.
Okay, they looked so badass when they were like on the motorcycles and they're like, if it gets suspicious, and then like they like jumped and then Sangha like tied them all up. I was like, ooh,
I need an anime.
bondage queen. Like, yes.
Yeah. There's just so many parts when I'm reading it. I'm just like, I want this to be animated.
I
want to hear their voices. I want to hear and see the reactions, hear the music, all the sound effects. Like,
you know how they changed Dokebis in the middle of it?
okay, how did that happen? I was confused about
the
that.
OG Dokebi, he was under investigation for his channel.
Yeah.
So then, of course, another Dokebi had to come in for him.
It was a higher up Dokebi.
Yeah. Guys, I think I have a thing for guys in like suits. They're so, it makes them 100,000 times more attractive. There's a reason why, okay? Don't look at me in that suit. The first thing that I saw was, oh my god! No,
Wait.
creatures.
And then Dokubis are not goats. What are you talking about? He
looks like a little goat.
right? It's like, okay, my thing is guys with glasses and suits.
Stop. My thing is the fact that there are literal characters that wear suits and have glasses in the
Yes.
Yeah.
and you're like,
Tokubis is the first character to really like exude that like he fulfilled his full potential.
Is it because he has power?
No,
Is it
no,
a power
but
thing?
what else character has suits? No one. It's just like you just see character like people love.
he's not even
No, you guys are confusing.
Astaroth I can handle.
Like that's the skeleton man. What's the original skeleton? No, you know people loved Simba back in their childhood. But then, it's like okay, it's not me. I didn't love Simba, but people back when you talk to people, there are people who are like,
Wait! I have a question.
okay.
Are you furries?
No. Okay.
I mean, you can be honest here. It's a safe
Oh
space.
no, like if you say furries, I don't want to dress up in like a wolf suit and like F people within my wolf suit. Like when you say furries, like no. Okay.
But don't give me
Okay, there's Tokebi in that like little like caveman dressing, right? I'm like, okay, whatever. But this Tokebi in a suit, it's different. Okay, it's just even when
Okay,
like Dokja.
I think we should move on. I respect your, I respect your.
I respect you.
Yes.
I don't know about this opinion.
Okay, when you see a guy, you see that he's dressed.
Okay, I feel like you're conflating suits and guys, right? Like those are you're trying to make the point. No, you're trying to make this point that suits on people look good.
Yeah.
But so the suit on the dokebi,
Yeah,
you think the suit on the dokebi looks good? Okay.
I wish you could said that instead.
You should have just said suit on the dokebi looks good.
I did. I said
Rewind.
Look at me in that suit. The first thing that I saw was, oh my god! Dokja showed up. He also came up with this. He ended up wearing a suit. I'm just like, oh
Really?
my god, yeah. Oh, this is so good looking. If only, like, if I wore a suit, I feel like I could be unstoppable.
I think you should get a suit. I think you would look really
I
good.
think
Wear a
we should
suit
all
next
suits,
time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I had a question though, and it had to do with stemming from the Tokebi wearing a suit. When you see a dude, right? What makes you attracted? Like not attracted to somebody, but you're like, oh wow, that person is attractive. Is it the way they dress, or is it the way they carry themselves? I guess
I think it's personality for me.
personality, big thing.
Yeah.
So let's say he wore shirts with constant holes, like holes.
Just on his.
They're like just staring at you, but like just holes on your shirt. But he has an amazing personality. Versus a guy who has mediocre personality, but he dresses.
Okay, let's remove personality. Let's just have it be like visual. Because when you see
Visual.
someone, you don't really see their personality.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Well, I'm pretty queer, so I feel like for me, it's usually if they look friendly,
Yeah,
if they smell good.
that's a big thing.
Okay, actually,
That's a huge thing.
someone came up to me and they complimented me, but then they told me I smelled good, and I was like, that's even better. Like, I'm constantly scared of smelling bad, so I was
Yeah.
like, thank you. You have made my day.
That is so true. It's like when you talk with someone with bad breath, you already have like a bad impression. No matter how good looking they are, even they have like a really good personality, it just you like are concentrated on the fact that they smell bad.
Okay, on the topic of good looks, so going back to the story.
Oh yeah.
I was talking about like of good looks. Doesn't Dokja try to be? Doesn't he become? He pretends to be the main protagonist, right? And they're like, "Weren't you supposed to be more good looking?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder what they look like in real life then, because for me, when you
I think
reading,
he's cute.
yeah, they both look. I prefer Dokja's like very friendly,
Round.
round face, and like use Junghyun's is like angular.
I feel like there's different. There's like cute, like a handsome, hot, and sexy.
Yeah, hot, sexy, friendly.
No, friendly is usually cute.
Okay. Oh,
Cute.
cute.
I feel like
Handsome.
Dokja is cute.
Wait,
Yeah.
could you say it again? Cute.
Cute, hot,
And sexy.
Sexy, handsome.
Handsome.
Okay.
Wouldn't hot
cute.
sexy be kind of like the same thing?
No. Because, like, sexy is, like, something in their eyes. But, like, hot is, like, something about, like, all of it. Yeah.
What would you deem? I think.
I was gonna ask, what would you deem? What
I
would
think you
deem
guys
to
are
us?
all cute. You give me. You give me. I would say cute, but you also give me very.
Anyway.
Like sexy
what I
vibes.
hear.
But then it's like you can like attract people with just like giving them a look and they'd be like following you.
I'm so awkward, though. So,
Yeah.
no. People talk to me, I'm like,
But sometimes the way you speak is very attractive.
Oh, shit.
It's
Thank
very
Yes, yes,
yeah.
yes,
Because when I rewatch things, I'm like, I'm into it. I think the way you speak and the things that you say is very positive. Not positive, but very
Like articulate, very
Articulate.
like
Damn, I didn't come here to get my self-esteem.
Yeah, no,
Dude,
it's
I
fair.
listen to you, and I'm like, I sound like a rat. I don't know where we last.
we were talking about the station.
Okay, yeah, and like
Oh,
how
yeah.
Dokja, he was pretending to be,
Oh yeah, the mask.
Yeah,
thing. That was
Jungkook.
cool. That
Oh
was
yeah.
and like he was. This is when they meet the disciples, right? Or not the disciples,
Right.
but they meet the other. He realizes that there's other people who are
Learns about the
reading.
prophets.
The prophets, yeah.
Yeah.
I already forgot the term, but the renouncers.
Yes,
Renouncers.
renouncers.
Yeah.
Well, wait, renouncers is what? Again?
People who read the novel.
But quit.
Yeah.
Okay, but sometimes they call them prophets.
Right, but the difference is the renouncers basically quit at the very beginning. The prophets got past chapter
Chapter
50.
50,
Or
yeah.
up to chapter 50.
Or
because
Either
they don't
up
know.
to or after, yeah.
Okay, because the only other person who's read more than 50 would be the plagiarizer, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And then Dokja would be
Yeah,
the other
uh-huh.
one. When Sooyoung is introduced,
She only acts as a guy.
Right.
Sorry.
when Sooyoung is introduced, we see she has the avatar. What is it called again? Attribute. She has the
Yeah.
avatar attribute, and she's using that as her advantage to basically lead the disciples, right? Because there's only 12. Well, out of the 12 disciples, she basically put herself as the top because she had read the most, but
Yeah.
she also plagiarized the book. And nobody knows who, well, she's the 11th basically because nobody knows who the 12th disciple is, and that's Dokja, essentially. But Dokja isn't related to her scheme, basically.
Right.
What was her, I don't remember, what was her scheme? What was she trying to, she was trying to change the story, right? But in a,
Basically, she was using the knowledge of the novel to manipulate people around her.
I think her main goal was just to save the world
but it was in a different, like, it was in a little bit more twisted way, wasn't it?
because according to the novel, what they read is like the world is always ending because of the Juya guy or you guy. And it's because he keeps on regressing because it's like if I make a mistake, just might as well just start over so I can get everything right from the beginning. So her goal was to like control him so he can't regress.
Okay. The disciples' goal was basically to find the ending without using the main protagonist.
Yeah,
I remember that. Yep. Whereas Dokja's goal was to get as close as possible to
the actual
the
storyline.
actual storyline so that he
because he
knows
knows
what's
it.
gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, wait. So, yeah, Shocker, it was a woman. Shocker, she's really cute. Also, like, okay, Bloodbath Kings is crowned king. Can we skip to that part?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Oh my gosh, the way he didn't want to sit on the throne.
I know.
But like he knew, he was like, it's because no matter who sits on the throne, if you sit on the throne, it's like you're gonna die, you're not gonna make it, but also the whole world's gonna end. And no one, obviously, you can't tell anyone that. And then when he called on the constellations, the plausibility thing, I was like, oh,
What is the possibility? I don't fully understand.
I also was like, I'm gonna bring this up so they can
Yeah.
explain it to me. My understanding is plausibility is the same as probability.
Yeah.
So basically, you have to pay the price for something for like the probability of something happening. So like him destroying the throne is so not likely to happen. So
Yeah.
like impossible that he was forced to like pay the price.
So that's why the Dokebi was like, you're gonna pay
die.
for this. Yeah.
It goes like against the natural things of
The
it's my
natural
understanding.
order.
That's why, like,
Yeah.
because he keeps doing things that he shouldn't be able to,
yeah.
and that makes him more suspicious. So, like, I think that's why you have to like pay the price
to like make
Yeah.
allow those things to happen in the world.
Mhm.
Because even sometimes he'll do achievements and it's like this isn't even a challenge. So now it'll
Yeah.
take longer to figure out what the prize is.
Mhm.
Like him destroying the throne.
Okay, yeah.
And when he called what was the constellation, the Big Dipper? And they
And then 7, was it 7?
Yeah, 7
of them?
stars.
Yeah, 7 stars.
That was so cool. And then they were all like, we'll help you. And then when they like took some plausibility, he was like, I feel like my skin is being shredded or like something like that. I was like,
But I'm a
Ouch.
little confused. Obviously, we didn't read a little. This will probably be for
the next
the
one.
next one
Yeah.
because I'm confused. I'm confused about what happened between that because everyone started like disappearing and then living in some trauma things, and they were like, "This is your fault," kind of thing.
Yeah. Whoa.
Wait,
You mean
wait.
the yellow lights when they
Yeah, the yellow lights. I'm a little bit confused about that. Everyone was separated.
Yeah, like when they were teleported and then after they wake
Mhm.
up.
I think the Dokubi did that so they would be mad at him. But yeah, I think it's places that they're familiar with.
Yeah.
Which could
Yeah.
honestly not have anything to do with him and just be like part of
No. The places they were teleported was what were
Like, wasn't
their
it
trauma.
their trauma? Yeah,
was-
places of their
I
trauma.
don't
Or
think so though,
trauma-
because
no.
he ended up at Minosaur.
Yeah, not trauma. I guess what you can.
It's familiar.
Yeah,
They're
familiar.
with.
Yeah.
I want to go back a little bit. So he
Yeah.
destroys the throne. There was one other thing I had a question about. I'm trying to remember.
Dude, Doctor looked so bad, like so cool when he destroyed the throne. No, but they did. I'm
Oh, yeah,
confused. Is he
King-
like a fable now?
Yeah, basically
Should have
they were
been
like,
if
yeah,
he
we'll
if he
remember
sat
you.
on the wait. I thought if he sat on the throne, it would have become a fable.
No, his
No.
constellation, his supporting becomes a fable.
He
Oh, okay,
probably
okay.
also would have, but because he destroyed it, he became king of a kingless world.
Yeah.
That was the title they gave him.
Mm.
I hated that the Dokubi was like anything that happens to you guys is like his fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Mhm.
was navigating, and then he like threw a petty fit. Now you guys have no king, right? I'm just gonna
Mhm.
disperse you guys. It's like a little like because you guys
So
didn't follow
petty.
my rule, I'll just punishment.
But
That's
also,
like power. What is it called? Power
trip?
Yeah, power trip.
but
Power
now
trip.
it's maybe it's because it's changed to
So
the fact that the
much, yeah.
world might actually like it increased the probability of them.
Surviving.
Like I don't even
Yeah.
know if they survive. I don't know what
Mhm.
happens.
Yujin Jung-hyuk, he did become king in one of his regressions.
Mhm.
He became
Solidified.
king of them and all of them until like his either fourth or like
41st.
Then
Yeah.
he realizes why the world kept on getting destroyed was because he became king. Because what happened was that there were the demons who didn't choose to be constellations, but they're as powerful as constellations, and they would exact like equal amount of power because he is literally so powerful because he can control everything as
Mhm.
king. So then the demons made like an equal power and just destroyed the world.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm. Talking about not demons, but remember the catastrophe that happened in the station?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
dragon.
the
Yeah, the
Oh,
dragon.
yeah, we didn't talk about that. That
That's
was
something
big
I was
too.
wanting to.
Was that a hidden scenario?
No, that wasn't supposed to
Oh,
happen.
it was because
Yeah.
they brought the egg and it was a trap.
Mhm.
Mhm.
they put
So,
it,
like,
yeah.
Who was it that set the trap again? I don't
The
remember.
prophets.
The
It was the prophets, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
They got
Okay.
all the renouncers. They were basically trying to just
They
get
were
rid
trying
of
to get rid of as many of them as possible.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so messed up.
But
The fact that they've all survived is shocking.
Mhm.
And I feel like it's a little bit different from other stories because it doesn't feel like it doesn't feel forced. It's like, yeah, that makes sense. They're all really strong. He at this point he knows what he's doing and he's trying to get them stronger.
That situation and the fact that the Dokubi was basically like, oh, you guys are starting scenario 5 early. We'll just make you, deal with it.
Yeah.
And he didn't adjust the.
he sucks.
Yeah, he didn't adjust the freaking level.
As hot as you might find him because he's wearing his little suit. He sucks. He's so
Power
rude.
tripper.
Yeah.
Power tripping.
Big ego.
I can't wait till we read it because there's this satisfying moment that involves
Oh, yeah. I remember
Dokja
that.
and then the Tokubi in the suit. And it's just like,
Yeah. But yeah, that part was messed up because they basically started the scenario 5 early,
Mhm.
which I guess when they destroyed the catastrophe in the station, that kind of helped them out a little bit later.
Yeah.
But it's just the fact that it started then and there and it was just kind of like,
Yeah.
whoa.
It
was a trap,
It was
yeah.
a
I
trap.
feel like if Dokja wasn't there, they would have destroyed
All died right
everything.
No,
away.
they
Yeah.
definitely would have all died.
Okay, wait. What's the name of the sword?
Jihye?
Jihye.
Uh-huh.
Jihye. So, okay, when Dokja is like, okay, I'm gonna like die
Uh-huh.
and like be revived, and he's like, don't come out no matter what happens. I was like, he knows. At this point, they've connected, like
Yeah.
as a team, but also like one-on-one. Like,
Wait, are you
just one
talking
relationship
about
with
Jihye
all
or
of
are
them.
you talking about Hyun?
Jihye's the
The high schooler.
The high schooler.
Oh no, the other one.
Okay, yeah.
He won.
He
won?
won? I think so. Yeah, he
He
won.
won.
He won. Yeah, and she was like, "Doctor," and he was just like running.
I'm
Yeah,
just
and then
waiting.
He-won doesn't really know yet, right?
I'm waiting for them to
Right.
like what that's gonna be like when
He reveals
because
it.
there was
She knows something though.
Yeah,
she
she
knows
after the
something.
cinema.
Yeah, she knows something. She knows that something's up, but she doesn't know exactly
Yeah.
what he's planning. But instead, she's choosing to put her trust in him.
So the fact that the two renouncers asked Dokja right away, like they first of all, they were shocked that his team didn't realize that he's an omniscient reader, and second of all, the two renouncers don't know how much Dokja knows, but they know that he's read more than them. So that's why they like
Trust
they highly respect and trust him. But it was interesting when that scene happens, and they were both kind of in shock, like, oh, you still haven't told your team, and they even asked him, when are you planning to tell your teammates, and how is that conversation going to be? So it'll be interesting.
I feel like you can't tell them.
Yeah,
What are you gonna say? Like, you're actually a character in a book I read.
Yeah, and they talked about that too. The two renouncers and Dokja talked about that. He was like, what do I even say? And they brought up the fact that there's been times where they've told people were
And they just laughed it off.
Yeah, and they just laughed it off. They literally couldn't comprehend it.
Well, like, how could you?
Yeah.
If I was like, actually,
your whole life.
I appeared here, but like, you were in a book that I read, like, so I don't think you're real. Basically, like, you're just a character.
What situation would he have to bring up that?
Well, I feel like he has enough evidence, but in the way that he's helped them survive, and honestly knows the details of their personal life. Like Jihae, at one point in the cinema, right? So they were in the movie, and she was like, "You don't know anything," and he's like, "I do know. This was your best friend's favorite movie."
Or even the part where it's you and Dokja, and okay, so he sent Hee-won on a secret mission to basically grab the sister.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
To save the sister.
That was
yeah.
so funny when she pulled out like the
whole
flagpole. Oh god, like you don't have your own flag on me. Ow. It was
What a
cool.
mood.
She's like, wasn't this the thing that you wanted?
And he's like, out of all of the like regenerations of this world, like this has never happened.
Yeah, and he's like, is this even legit? Like,
Yeah.
is this-
Yeah. It's really interesting how Dokja is going to tell everyone. Obviously, something's up.
Do you think he will?
I don't think he's going to, but it'll be interesting how each person finds out and how they react when they do figure out.
like
But
themselves.
obviously, I feel like the people, the human characters who aren't characters, but from the original novel, but
Yeah.
who are actually dragged onto it with him, I feel like they'll probably,
Believe him. more.
believe him a little bit
Yeah,
more.
but what about the people who are becoming characters? Like, what's up with that?
I feel like they'll forget.
Yeah,
They'll laugh
for
it off
example,
too.
the ninth renouncer who suddenly
Became a character.
became a character and he knew the idol.
Oh yeah,
but she never was in real life.
She was always a character, and
Yeah.
he's
That
like,
was
"Why do I?"
weird.
He's like, "Why do I know who this person is?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm wondering when that he's gonna have that conversation with the other renouncer, the 1,000 renouncer or something.
What if they're all just low key part of a novel, but they just don't know?
I mean, they all are.
Yeah, what if we've been lying about who the actual main protag
Yeah.
is?
Plot twist.
He's like, oh, very meta. Where like the main character is reading this novel, but like I guess we're the ones that are.
We're basically constellations, is what I was saying before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what if we're not constellations? What if we're
Where's
I guess we
novels
are
within a novel?
Yeah, I'm getting tripped out. Anyway,
Because constellations are part of a novel too.
Mm-hmm.
They are.
they are.
Wow. I'm excited for when we reach to after they disperse and teleport to their individual places. Because then I feel like then you actually see character
growth a little bit.
growth.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I was gonna ask, okay, so clearly Sanga is concerned about Gil-young killing. And the fact that he's so comfortable with it. What do we think? Can we make some guesses?
That was really scary, but also kind of sad. He's just like, no.
I'll kill
Gil-young
them.
is like, it's okay, don't worry about me, I can do it.
Yeah.
I can
like,
kill everyone.
The amount of I feel like repression this kid is going through.
Emotional repression.
Emotional repression.
They also mentioned that he was probably abused as a kid. You know how they went back to their trauma, and Dokjae said like Gil-sung had the toughest trauma out of
He was
all
like,
of them.
Mom, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, was he on the bus by himself?
Yeah.
Yeah,
the,
on
the subway. Yeah.
I think maybe because of his before the story started, human life to him is very like we see human life saying like it's like treasured, like you wouldn't easily take someone's life. But I feel like for him, plus with the situation he was put into, it's just if I kill, I have to kill.
Yeah, the fact that even in the first scenario when Dokja took all of his crickets, you'd think a kid would cry over that. But I noticed right away he didn't even flinch, blink an eye. He just kind of let Dokja take the bugs and didn't even say anything when everyone was killing his bugs.
He has a lot of insight too.
Perspective.
I remember at one point when they were killing and he was like bashing someone's head in with their hammer.
Yeah.
I was like, there's no need to do that.
I feel like because of the level of his strength, he might be a character that we might have to be concerned about becoming a villain later on.
Oh, I wasn't thinking about that. Like now that you mention it, because even main pro tag, I keep forgetting his name.
Dokja?
No, not
Or
Dokja, Jung Hyuk.
You took.
Yoo Jung Hyuk.
Yeah.
He even like when he saw the kid, he was just like, "Bro, you want to be on my team?" kind of thing. You remember that? Because they realized his potential.
Thank goodness that he came with Dokja instead of you, because Yu's killing
That
his
dude's like a
tendencies.
psycho.
He's psycho. I
care.
feel like he would have put Gilsung into not a good path. Because he's with Dokja, I think his moral compass is able to form more.
Yeah.
But I feel like if Dokja were ever to die, I feel Gilsung would just lose it.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think the difference is too that he's aware that Dokja is someone that's actually looking out for him.
That's true.
And Dokja also has made him feel very comfortable and being like, I wouldn't judge you.
and safe.
Like when they were choosing to like remove people from their rooms or like find their rooms in the third scenario. And he was like, let's just take the rooms. Like, why would we struggle? He was like I wouldn't judge you for that. Like,
Yeah, it's
we can. I was just asking because I want to like know what you guys want to do.
It's like their life is on the line too.
Yeah.
It's like, would I give up my life in order to save them, or I have to kill them so I can save me? It's like those two.
And at this point, everyone has murdered someone.
Yeah.
Except for
Dokja.
Dokja.
Yeah. Well,
Lots to think about, but yeah, I feel like the character growth is definitely going to be main topic or a topic to
discuss
discuss
Yeah,
in the
I'm so excited
future.
for
I'm
this
excited.
I'm
very
excited for the little girl to come in, because that's when the episode starts like wrapping up, like not wrapping up, but like hyping up.
Hyping up.
More hype. Well, we thoroughly devoured that meal for today. So many discussions, so many tangents, and I hope we'll be excited to see you guys next time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below. Whatever.
Engage, we reply to everything.
Yeah. Let us know what your favorite scenario has been so far.
Talk to us now while we're little, because when we're big, who knows?
You won't get noticed by senpai.
Bye.
Okay, let's wrap it up.
Bye.